So welcome back to another video here in Pennsylvania. And yes, it's time for another Bigfoot story. I know some of you look forward to these stories and some of you don't. But anyway, as I said in the past, I kind of like doing these. So I'm in my home county today of Berks County, near the city of Reading. I'm currently on Never Sink Mountain, or making my way up there. I wasn't actually planning on this being the next Bigfoot video, but a couple days ago I went somewhere to film another story, but when I got there I realized I forgot my camera, of all things. But it happens sometimes, so. But we'll do that story another time. For today I thought I'd come to a different place. So this is a more recent story compared to some of the ones I've told you. This dates to 2012. Not all that long ago, actually. And I'm not in the exact area of the GPS coordinates that I had for this story, to be honest. The description of the area does not match the coordinates, the description that's in the story, so I felt it matched more this area that I'm going to here today, here on Never Sink Mountain. The coordinates actually told me to go to what's called Mount Penn, I believe. But I just didn't quite match up. But that's the way it is with stories and coordinates sometimes. I just feel like this is the right location for the story. I could be wrong. I apologize if the person that wrote the story watches this, but let me read a quick description of the story. It's quite a bit to read for this one, but I'm just going to read the headline for it. Man and family flushed out 7-foot dark or black colored creature near an old Springhouse. It hid until the kids were too close and then ran off. So, but there's a lot more to the story. We'll get to that later once we get up to the Springhouse. There is an old Springhouse up here that matches the story. And as always with these videos, just keep in mind, I am not trying to prove or disprove the existence of Bigfoot. I am just telling someone else's story and leaving it up to you to figure out what happened. Okay, so somewhere around here is a Springhouse. Is it up there? I feel like you can see it from the trail. Oh, I think I do see it up there. Up through the brush. Like I said, I'm not sure if this is the one that's in the story, but it's the one I'm going to use. I think I do see it up there through the brush. So whether or not this is the exact spot where the story took place, we're in the same general area. Like I said, we're on Never Sink Mountain, but just across the valley is Mount Penn. So within, several miles of each other, so in the same general area. So I believe that is the Springhouse up there. Let's head up there and I'll tell you the story. I should get to check out an old Springhouse too. Pretty sure it's the spot. Yeah, so there are some other ruins up here too. I think years ago we explored this area together a little bit more. Just gotta get through these brush and thorns here. Not sure that you can see this so well in the summertime. The trail is just down there. Because I think that's when the story took place. So like I said, this may not be the exact Springhouse. Which is, where is it? I lost it again. Alright, so it's just down here, but man, got some dark clouds coming. Supposed to have some thunderstorms today, but I did bring my umbrella. Yeah. Cool old Springhouse. Quick take a look inside. There you go. Beautiful old building. Alright, so time to tell this story. Like I said, this may not be the location. Here, I'm thinking maybe it's not. Like, it's pretty hidden up here on the hill, so I'm not sure if they would be able to see it from down the trail unless they knew it was here. But anyway, let's go ahead and start the story. So, on Memorial Day, because this dates in 2012, on Memorial Day, it was very hot and we had nothing scheduled for the day. My second oldest son had always told us to hike these trails. He was at a friend's house that day. We took his advice and went. In attendance was myself, my wife, and 3 of our 4 kids, and my oldest boy's best friend. So it tells the children's ages there. I had with me a flip camera phone, so 2012, so that makes sense. Oh, here's the rainfall. Anyway, we went the wrong way on the trails at first and found ourselves at the river. That's why I think maybe it was here, because if you go the wrong way, it does take you down the river, but where they were at, there's, up on Mount Penn, I'm not sure, you'd have to go very wrong to get down to the river, but anyway. Alright, we turned around and hiked for about half mile uphill. By the time the hill flattened and we took a break, I lit a cigarette and we were talking to my son's friend and my youngest son. Switch to the next page here. My oldest son and the 12-year-old were behind me, looking down and talking, looking downhill and talking. My youngest son noticed a concrete structure built into the hill to the left of us. We later determined it was an old Springhouse, which I thought maybe might have been this building here. I told him they wanted to go check it out. He's like, I told him sure, but since my legs were hurt from walking uphill, I told him I wasn't ready for a walk up there yet. Now here's where he claims to see something. They walked uphill to the right of the structure, and as they neared the top of the hill and were just starting to disappear around the brush close to the crest of the hill, there was plenty of brush up here, I saw a huge dark figure break cover from right next to the Springhouse and run to the left away from us. So that's why I thought this was perhaps the area, because there's a nice Springhouse there. But maybe there's a Springhouse over on Mount Penn too that I just don't know about. So it could be, but this kind of fit the description, like I said. I'll continue the story here then. It says, I stood there shocked by what I saw. The camcorder was turned off in my right hand. I missed it, because that's usually what happens in these stories. It ran very fast to the left, away from the approach of my children, and crashed through the brush very loudly. My child and family friend at the top of the hill couldn't see it, but hearing it scared them, because I heard it scared them. They started back down the hill thinking I was throwing stuff uphill at them. So they heard the creature crashing through the brush. They didn't see it, but they heard it, but they thought the dad was throwing stuff up at them. My wife and other kids, hearing the commotion, asked me what it was, and all I could do was yell, "Whoa!" and tell the kids to come back down. I told my wife I didn't know what it was, but in that instant I knew what I had seen. We hiked only a short bit up the trail past the Springhouse before I told everyone it was too hot, let's go home. I was shook up. I felt like we were being watched while in the woods hiking out. Immediately I started searching online for other sightings in the area and found a user on YouTube that had commented that these mountains scared him. When I asked him, he responded that at night there are shadow figures all over it. And he mentioned how he found this site. So there you go, that's the story. Well, the family and the father, what he believes he saw out here. So there you go, that's the story. There's a lot of brush up here, but like I said, I don't think you can really see, especially in the summertime, I don't think there's any way you'd be able to see the Springhouse from down there, so probably not the exact location where that story took place. But yeah, imagine, of course, if this was their location, he'd be downhill somewhere, his kids would have been up here, and he saw a creature up here just bolt away. As his kids got close to the structure, this creature bolted away from the site. So what was that creature? Yeah, so what did the dad see? I mean, the rest of the family heard it, so something, there's no doubt that something was here, crashing through the brush, but what was it exactly? I know some people might say a bear, but in this case I doubt it. We're near Redding. I don't think they really have bears down this way. In northern Berks County, there's bears along the Blue Mountain. Down here by Redding, I'm not so, I mean, someone can correct me if I'm wrong about that, but I don't think you're gonna find bears in this area. A little bit too far south for them. So I doubt it was a bear. I mean, but hey, you never know. Maybe it was. But I would throw bear out as one of the options. And I guess it's possible it could have been a person wearing dark clothes, all black, but that doesn't, I mean, on a hot summer day, why would you be wearing all black? But some people do. Of course, heights are always kind of difficult, you know, when they say something was 7 feet taller or things like that. I'm just trying to think in my mind, you know, what could it have been? What did he see that day? But that's always the problem with these stories. You know, you see something, they see something for a moment and it's gone. And they're trying to describe what they saw for just a second or two. You know, a dark figure, about 7 feet tall, crashing through the brush. Because it makes you wonder if it was a person, what were they doing in that Springhouse that they had to run away so quickly? If it was just a person not doing anything wrong, they would have no reason to go running off through the brush so quickly. Just be scared. But we are near the town or the city of Reading too, so you need to keep that in mind. There's a lot of, how should we say it? There's a lot of nefarious activities that go on in the Reading area. So maybe it really easily could be somebody, could have been somebody doing something that they shouldn't have been doing in that Springhouse. There were different possibilities for that. So maybe it was someone wearing all black. People, like I said, people do that, even on hot summer days. So is that what he saw? That just popped in my mind. Like we're not in the middle of nowhere. We're near a modern city. But as always, you know, let me know what you think of this story. And now that I'm here again, like I said, I'm not so sure this is the location, but like I said, I chose it to tell the story. Now I'm thinking I need to drive up to Mount Penn, see if I can find the Springhouse that they're talking about in the story. See if there is one where the GPS location was. The GPS marker put it right on what's called Skyline Drive, if you're familiar with Mount Penn. Just past what's called List Road, before you get to some of the towers that are up there. Just seemed kind of an odd place for a Springhouse up there. And they said they were on trails, and I didn't see a trail that went right to that spot either, so I don't know. Because once again, maybe the Springhouse is on Mount Penn, but just not at that exact location that was marked on the map. So instead of wandering around up there today, I thought I'd come to a place that I knew there was a Springhouse. And as far as the end of the story goes, where he felt like he was being watched, and he, you know, contacted the other YouTubers, said that there's like shadow folk up these hills. You know, I've been here on Never Sink Mountain a number of times. I've been over on Mount Penn before hiking, looking for stuff, and I've never felt creeped out by the place. Never had any encounters of tall, dark figures, or felt that shadow folk were watching me, or anything like that. The only questionable encounters I've had in this area are people from the town of Reading, I guess you could say. I mean, I should elaborate. Most people I meet on these trails are nice folk. I'm just saying, sometimes when you're closer to a place like Reading, you do encounter, you know, certain type of people. I know I get people mad at me sometimes when I talk about their town, but I think everybody in the area knows that Reading is not a safe place. So that's just the way it is. But like I said, as always, you can let me know what you thought of this story down in the comments, what your interpretation of it is. Did he see something Bigfoot related? Was it some other animal? Is he making the story up, or is there some other explanation for what happened in this story? I do read all your comments, and I look forward to reading, just to hearing what other people's take on the story is. Because sometimes people, as they listen to the story, they kind of see things that I missed, and stuff like that, or catch certain elements that don't line up with other things that he said. So it's good to hear other people's opinions on the matter. So personally, I don't think it was a bear. I lean it more towards it being a person wearing black. I don't know. I mean, here it looks very woodsy and everything, but I don't know. This is a very populated area, so I don't know if it's the best place in the world to have Bigfoot sightings. Of course, I'm not the, you know, I guess other Bigfoot enthusiasts would disagree with me maybe and say that Bigfoot can be found everywhere. But it just doesn't really seem, if something like a Bigfoot creature is real, I don't know that this would be the area it would choose to live in. If there was such a creature, and it was trying to hide from people, I feel like it would pick a much more less crowded, less peopleized area. But then again, you know, sometimes the best way to hide, is to hide in plain sight. But yeah, I get the feeling it was maybe someone was there at the Springhouse doing something they shouldn't have been doing, and when they saw people approaching, they just took off through the brush. So you would see their black clothing, and I don't know, maybe their face just blended in with the brush and stuff. I don't know. But like I said, you know, so you see something for a couple seconds, and sometimes your mind just fills in the rest, and you start making more of it than it really is. But I could be wrong. Maybe he did see something. You know, I wasn't there, and neither were you. So sometimes it's easy to judge a story or what someone tells when you're not the one, when you didn't see it for yourself. You can say, well, it was just this or that, but we weren't there. You know, he was. So that, you have to take that into account too. We're kind of judging something that we didn't see. But anyway, that'll be it then. I hope you enjoyed another Bigfoot story. As I said in the beginning, these videos are not about proving or disproving Bigfoot's existence. I'm just telling you stories of people who have experienced something out here in the woods of Pennsylvania. And I'll let you decide. Alright, as always folks, thanks for coming along, and hopefully we'll see you on the next adventure.